Everyone's always talking about how to grow, but almost no one ever tells you to look back. You're so focused on improving, you forget you're already better than you were. Whatever you're chasing, music, art, a business, pause and ask, what feels easier now than it did 3 months ago? That's growth. You didn't notice it because you're living it, but it's there. This week, I did a joke I did months ago, and it killed because I've grown. That was my proof. So, don't just grind forward. Take a second to look back. This is important because it can help you prevent burnout or feeling like you're not actually improving. And it can also reinforce your momentum to propel you forward with even more energy. So take a second to look back and think, how far have I come? You're probably further along than you think. Like when I started doing stand-up, I was just trying to survive my set. But this week, I went back to a bit that I hadn't done for months. But this time I knew when to pause, I knew when to hit the punch, how to read the room. I didn't even realize how much I improved until I did it. That's what I'm learning. Growth is quiet, but it's real. So, if you're chasing a dream, take stock. What's easier now? What feels less scary? What have you gotten better at? That's your proof. So if you're chasing a dream, I want you to take a second to pause and answer those questions. This can help you prevent burnout and can reinforce the momentum you already have going. So let's talk about week 14 in my journey to become a stand-up comedian in just 1 year. And this week I did a bit that actually did well the very first time I told it, several months ago. I've also got some exciting news, but before I talk further about this week in comedy, I actually signed up for Portland's Funniest Person contest. I don't think I'm gonna win, but I'm doing it to help challenge myself to grow. See, like all the best Portland comedians do this contest. It's huge, tons of people come out. It happens all throughout the summer. I figured it'd be a great experience to put my skills to the test, see how far I've come, and just see what happens and have fun with it. Honestly, I'm super nervous because I have friends and family coming. This is the first time I've invited anyone out to come see my comedy, because usually I'm bombing, so it'll be fun for them to see a set that is actually polished and refined and that they can get behind. So that brings me to this week. I've been working on this bit, improving it for the Portland's Funniest Person contest. So you get 2.5 to 4 minutes. I'm bordering on the 4-minute side, so I use this mic as an opportunity to practice. And overall, it went well. What was the highlight of the week? Well, the highlight is just, this is a really fun room. I feel like here, there's always an audience and you get good feedback. So the great thing is, this set still holds up. When I told it the first time, it absolutely killed. Every single joke landed. This time, most of it landed.
Yeah, she was diagnosed with dementia at age 85. And it was really hard on the family, but I chose to look on the bright side. You know, because before the diagnosis, I owed her money. Now she thinks she owes me. Yeah.
I didn't really have a strong start, but I don't know if that's just because I still haven't learned how to transition from a nervous audience member to the performing comic. Overall, the highlight was that this is a really strong bit. I just need to make a few tweaks to it before it's PFP ready. What was the lowlight of the week? The lowlight was just that there were a few jokes that didn't work this time that worked the first time.
She is unfortunately from the generation that tells embarrassing racist stories. But finally, after years of begging her to stop, she lost her memory. Not as much attention as I thought it would give her. These were racist stories, you guys. She forgot them all.
I'm not sure entirely if it's because the jokes were not great, or if it's just because I was a little bit too nervous coming on and the audience could sense that and they pulled back. I don't know. But again, this is the frustrating thing about comedy is one night, one joke will kill. other nights, that same joke will get crickets. This never makes sense to me, and I can't explain it. But what I have learned, I found that the more consistent a joke is, the better it is. Because there are nights where maybe the crowd is hot and you're not. So even if you tell a joke that is good, they'll still laugh because they're just enjoying the comedy show. Maybe the bar is lower than the average audience, or that it normally is. So that was frustrating, but honestly, really good, because now I know what parts of my bit to tweak before I get up for the competition. So overall, I'm feeling good. And I want to say, this is why this week I talked about looking backwards, because I really had to just take pause this week and acknowledge how far I've come. I mean, I went from, completely bombing almost every joke at open mics, even just months ago, to now having proven material that I can actively say, hey, I definitely have gotten better at this. And I know I can do good at this. It just takes time and practice to get better at, just like anything. But unfortunately, we can forget these things. So it was good to have that reminder this week. So that's my encouragement to you. If you're feeling down in whatever dream you're chasing, try to acknowledge the growth that you've had. I mean, for me, it's acknowledging the bits that have gotten a lot better. But what is that for you? Take some time to acknowledge that, because honestly, it goes a long way, especially an industry where there's so much failure, like comedy. I mean, they say that 10% of your jokes are gonna work. That's insane. It's insane that anyone does this. It has as much fun as they do, because there's a lot more awkward silences than laughter when you're first starting out. So, that's gonna do it for week 15 in my journey to become a stand-up comedian in just 1 year. If you're chasing a dream, you love comedy, or you just wanna see me bomb, you sick freak, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. Toodles!